All right. Hello and welcome back to the Donut Club podcast. This is episode 6. And today we are talking about something very special. But as always, we have to introduce the co-host. This week I'm joined by Evan, Hunter, and Teigan. How you doing today, boys?
Hello there.
General Kenobi. You are a bold one. I'm good.
Hunter, how about you? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Little better now that you had to listen to that whole exchange.
Well, I mean, I tried my best to throw in the hello there.
But, it's a fine addition to my collection.
Yeah, but I was cut off by those two nerds.
Can you tell that Teigan likes General Grievous?
No, it's just a meme in here. It's
So we've got a good topic. This past Thursday, which was June 11th, 2020, Sony finally had their big PlayStation reveal. And to be completely honest, I think that this was just replacing their panel that they were supposed to have at E3, because E3 is usually held around this time of year. And it got canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic. So I think that's what they did. So they revealed a lot. We got, literally, I kid you not, 26 games were unveiled, as well as some features for the PS5 that we already knew about, and the PlayStation 5 itself. So we've got a lot to get into. But first, we'll hear a quick word from our host and sponsor, Anchor. Well, all right. That was the ad, as usual.
Very well said.
Before we get too deep into the games, I just want to say the best reveal that they had, the entire panel, if you ask me, the best reveal they had was at the very beginning, where they revealed that GTA 5 is getting ported to the PlayStation 5.
The third
at this
console
point, I honestly
in a row.
think they should make a GTA 6.
Spin on.
Like, why?
It's not even coming this year. It's coming next year, isn't that right?
This is its third console, by the way.
Yeah.
PS3, PS4, and now PS5. I think they should just make it GTA 6 at this point.
They are making it.
Well, I think they are.
Yeah.
They're just putting it. It's not even coming out this year. It's coming out next year.
It's not ready yet.
2021. It's not ready.
It's a fine move. Who cares?
Yeah.
So
it's basically what the trailer is. It's just basically the same trailer, I feel like, from last year.
Yeah. Well,
it's just to me revamped and looks a lot better and smoother.
It seems to me like what they did was kind of like show the evolution of the game over the years, because you saw, like, at first it was just stuff from the story mode, and then they had like clips from a bunch of the individual DLC trailers and stuff like that. Honestly, that was just a big joke because I thought it was hysterical that it's getting ported again. I think it's just to save face because they need something for people to play, and it's still one of the most popular games on PS4. So it's understandable.
That game is wildly popular. Like, I honestly don't know anybody who doesn't have that game. Like, it's just
hashtag people spending in-game
still
money
one of the
for
most popular selling games.
$3 million cars and blowing the city.
Like, people are still buying it to this day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, GTA 5 is so popular that it still sells. It is a 7-year-old game.
It still sells millions of dollars.
It's still selling for like $35 a copy.
Are there in-game purchases? Like, can you buy money?
Oh yeah, you can buy
cards.
currency. Yeah, you can buy currency.
So I'm assuming they make a lot of money still through people buying currency and buying like ridiculous super weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
I think the one good thing to come out of it, because obviously we don't actually care that it's getting ported to the PlayStation 5, but the one good thing to come out of it is that if you're an active PlayStation 4 player for GTA 5, apparently every month until they release it on the PlayStation 5, they are giving current PS4 GTA 5 players $1 million every month. Once a month, you get $1 million on sign-in.
Bro, that's insane. I'll be like a billionaire. Like, what?
I haven't played GTA in forever, so just knowing that,
give that, dude.
Teigan, you wasted all your money on a $3 million car. Shut up, please.
Yeah, I know. I said, give me
Teigan's gonna buy clothes with the money,
and it's not even faster than your fastest car.
Give me 2 days, and that money will be gone. I swear to
Gone.
God, I'll save all that money up,
Teigan, you're
and
not
then
gonna
like
be
in 2
building
days,
this,
I'll
by
be
the way.
gone.
depicts
You're
how
gonna have $8 million.
it depicts how he spends his money in the real world.
Oh,
Dude, honestly,
yeah.
I'm the same way though. I get it. Like, if you see something you want, I feel like you should buy it so long as you're capable of, and that's why the PlayStation 5, we're probably all gonna have it before Christmas.
I'm
But,
pre-ordering it day one.
Probably not me.
so
I don't even know
plenty.
how much that costs.
Right now, they haven't confirmed anything, but we saw earlier that the placeholder Amazon page for it is up now. Granted, placeholder pages, they always get edited and changed, but the placeholder page is saying that it is $600, which might seem like a bit much. It might seem like a bit much, but in all honesty, the PlayStation 3 when it launched was $600, literally just because it had a Blu-ray player in it. Because it was Blu-rays were still relatively new at the time, but now like Ultra HD Blu-ray is something that we've had for years. So I think it's more other parts of the hardware that are in it that are going to make it cost more.
And they're going to include some stuff in it, some other accessories.
Obviously, you're going to get
60 frames per second graphics card.
Yeah, we're running at this point. The consoles are going to be running 4K, possibly 60 frames at 4K.
Probably even 120. Well, I'm thinking 120 frames per second, based off what I'm seeing. Like,
well, and also,
it's way past 60 frames.
The storage of it too. It's I guarantee you the base storage is gonna be a terabyte.
Yeah.
There's no way that they'd have a base storage of
especially
500.
with Call of Duty, which is like 200 gigs.
They did reveal that.
Like they're like,
yeah.
I can't even imagine Call of Duty 2020.
They did already
Actually,
reveal
you know what? They probably. I'm kind of surprised they didn't reveal that a Call of Duty trailer for that, but. It's not PS5. It's not PS5.
They usually don't.
It's not exclusive. They only showed the exclusives on the.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
no. It wasn't
just
not
all of those are exclusive. No. I guarantee you something like Hitman. That's not a PlayStation exclusive. You can play that on Xbox. But like Call of Duty, I can't imagine what Call of Duty 2020 is going to be. Like how big that game's going to be.
I think it's going to be smaller than.
I need space on my
Modern Warfare because apparently Activision wasn't too pleased with the fact that the most recent update for Modern Warfare was 80 gigs
for Xbox.
That's how much it was.
Yeah, apparently on the Xbox.
I didn't even realize.
Version.
I stayed up really late.
It was.
And I started the download, and then I went to sleep.
From what I saw, I have friends who have Xbox, and it was 84 gigs. I think.
Yeah. So hopefully, well, it looks like so. I mean, I don't want to jump too far ahead with like the features and whatnot, but just because we did mention the memory space, I will say something about that now. It seems that the basic one. So you guys know how the PlayStation 4 had like a base 500 gigs.
Yeah.
It looks like the base for the PlayStation 5 is going to be like 865 or 875 gigs, and then
that's not enough.
Well, I'm getting to that, and then they have two options because there's always two for some reason. Except for the PlayStation 3, there was like 1.5 million different memory storage limits you could have, but apparently the second one that they've announced so far is a 2 terabyte hard drive, which is good. The one thing why I'm going to say is that we can't necessarily trust the placeholder Amazon thing for the price is because it says that it's a 1 terabyte hard drive, and they haven't said anything about 1 terabyte. Which honestly, it probably should be, but in reality, when you have a 1 terabyte hard drive, you usually wind up with the 800 something being available to you anyway.
Yeah, my PlayStation Slim was said to be a terabyte, but it's not even a full terabyte.
You get under because it holds certain stuff. Because like
it's gotta hold certain stuff. It's understandable.
Yeah,
but
right. You only have a certain amount of space for certain stuff. Yeah,
like Evan, that terabyte you were showing us before you were recording, that's a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah,
right?
it's a 2 terabyte one.
Yeah. I got a 2 terabyte solid state hybrid drive, which is supposed to it's supposed to hold memory like a normal hard disk drive, but somehow work like a solid state drive, which actually we're getting a solid state drive guaranteed for, I think, at least the PlayStation.
I think it's an SSD. I think it was like an SSD drive.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's a solid state drive instead.
It should help. This one can hold the same one that I've had. This new one that I just bought, I hope it can.
I'm sure it will. I mean, I've been seeing these hard drives pop up in Target, and they're 2 terabyte hard drives. And I can't even imagine that they wouldn't fit in the PS5.
As long as it's 3.5 inch, you'll be fine. But So anyway,
let's get into the games.
The games, yeah, we want to talk about that before actually getting into the console itself.
Well, we did mention GTA 5, so we're done with that.
Yeah, so we're moving on from that.
That game doesn't need to be discussed.
On that game, there is one game that we're not going to talk about that they revealed is NBA 2K21 because
Zion's on the front cover.
It's a sports game. It's not going to be dynamic from the last year, so it's not really.
It's literally just going to be
probably going to be the same game, except
it's going to be 2K20, but it's going to be the graphics are just going to be better.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much, and then obviously different rosters. Yeah.
I think we can also not go into detail at all on Goodbye Volcano High. That looks like a
that was so weird
game.
I want to that game looks I don't know what to think of that game.
Hunter was saying that
I honestly thought it was a TV show. I didn't even know what to think of it.
It looked like a cartoon at first.
It looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And I believe that I'm not the only one who thought that.
I'm just wondering
the trailer. I'm like, what is this?
I definitely saw it and was like,
this doesn't even look like an average, your average game that you would play.
No, I thought at first that I was just seeing an ad, to be completely honest. But so yeah, we're gonna avoid
for
those
a TV
games.
show, right?
Well, no, just like an ad for one of those mobile games that no one likes. But I think yeah, those are probably the only games that we definitely don't need to touch on whatsoever. Obviously, I think one of the actual biggest reveals, the GTA 5 one, was obviously a joke, but one of the biggest reveals is the fact that immediately after GTA 5, they dropped a trailer for a sort of sequel to Spider-Man from the PS4.
It's an indirect sequel. Like you can hear Peter's voice.
It's more like
in the trailer. It's a story around Miles Morales, but I don't know if we're gonna get remember towards the end of the game, like the DLCs. Right.
Yeah, he's in.
Miles was asking Peter to train him and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, when are we gonna do Spider-Man stuff? I don't know if this game is gonna show that. It might show a glimpse of it in the first few minutes, but then the rest of it is probably just his story.
Yeah.
Well, Insomniac Games has confirmed that it's a standalone game.
It is. Yeah. So
it's not an actual sequel, but it is at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I said sort of, because it seems pretty clear. Despite obviously having a cleaner haircut, they gave Miles a fade. Despite having a cleaner
haircut, good. He looks good.
Older. He looks. I mean, maybe it's the graphics, but he does look like he's grown older. Oh no,
I don't even care. I'm sure there are people wondering. It's
when you first open the trailer, you see him his suit getting blown away and stuff with lightning and whatnot, and it looks like the graphics and just the slow motion looks amazing. I'm watching it right now. I have it, obviously can't hear it. It looks like there's gonna be brand new villains, probably some that we've never heard of. And then it just the suit looks so good. And I'm watching the clip of the trailer where he's invisible. He's gonna have so many more abilities than Peter did.
That is one of his
the lightning, powers. The invisibility,
Well, it's obviously.
Peter only had the generic just web sling and climb and super strength. He has those and then added on powers though. That's what I'm saying.
That's traditionally Miles has had. You see them in Into the Spider-Verse where he can turn invisible for some reason. And
he also has an electric shock power. Yeah,
those have always been Miles Morales things.
And he looks significantly older in this game, in this trailer too.
I mean,
you saw in
it's been 2 years since the first game came out, so I'm assuming they're kind of sticking to that timeline.
But 2 years doesn't have to be that same timeline; it could be longer. That's what I'm saying. This game looks like he's taking over for Peter, so this might be just more 6 years down the road.
Imagine this is a sequel to the sequel, but it's coming out before the actual sequel.
It's probably that's what it is.
I mean, that would be cool and all, but I hope not, because that would be confusing.
And I love the quote: "Be greater and be yourself."
Yeah.
Well,
that's exactly what Miles. That's exactly what Miles is.
This has been a really good 2 years for Miles Morales, though, because he's got that Spider-Verse movie, he got the Spider-Man PS4 movie. Not movie game.
Coming out. It's coming out when the PS5 comes out too.
I was gonna say, I think it's a launch title.
We're
Yeah,
it's coming out in December 2020. Holiday. It said holiday 2020. So
that's when the PS5 comes out.
You're definitely going to see bundles for this. You're definitely going to see bundles in stores for the Spider-Man packs, and like there's probably going to be PlayStation decal of Miles Morales.
I was going to say, yeah. I think
on the PS4 and the controller, or PS5 and the controller.
I think it'll at least be bundled into the game because
sure.
I know that one of my PlayStations, it was, I guess, apparently supposed to be the Arkham Knight bundle, and I remember when they dropped Batman Arkham Knight, they had an exclusive silver Batman PlayStation with a silver remote. I didn't get that. I just got it bundled with the game, which was kind of disappointing. But I'm probably gonna do that either with this, and then maybe have an actual specific Spider-Man design one when they finally drop an actual.
Honestly,
because this doesn't look like the sequel. I feel like like they wouldn't. Unless the plot has something to do with Miles taking over for Peter, becoming a more heavy character.
This is definitely
I think. Well, you heard Peter's voice in the the trailer.
In the first couple of seconds.
I'm thinking that it's sort of him going off on his own without Peter's supervision. I think they're both still Spider-Man, except this is sort of his.
So my curiosity is because we saw Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
So we got the first game, which was with Peter.
Yeah.
This game is going to be with Miles. So is the third game going to be with Gwen Stacy as the main?
That's what I
doubt it. So. I doubt it. They'll probably do a Spider-Verse game.
I'm thinking. I have a theory.
They've already technically.
Hold on. I have a theory. Because I have a theory that this is going to all these Spider-Man games are going to relate to Spider-Verse in some way.
I think they're just building their own universe.
Hear me out. It's going to relate to it because Spider-Verse is a huge thing, right? Spider-Verse made a lot of money. Okay, let's just throw it out there.
Well,
when it comes to other Spider-Man movies,
when it comes to other Spider-Man movies, it well, fine. It was a really popular movie. People loved it. I'm saying is that Insomniac has that same mentality, whereas people love the Spider-Verse so much and the diversity in characters, they can make a lot of money off of going off of that. So what I'm thinking is, because this is just a teaser trailer, why not throw Gwen Stacy in the game later? That's what I'm saying. So maybe, and then make her own.
Well, it's a little too late to do that, considering the game comes out this year. So if they were to,
but Miles Morales wasn't in the first trailer. Miles Morales wasn't in the first teaser trailer for Spider-Man PS4.
No. But what you were saying is add her in later,
But
no. Add her in later.
I think he means in the context of the story.
In the context of the story. She'll pop up in the game, but she won't pop up in the trailers. That's what I'm saying. So she'll be a surprise
story.
Yeah, I feel like
we're getting way too into
that's
that.
My. Yeah, I know I'm getting way too into that, but I feel like that might be a possibility of what they're trying to do.
I think they're just
Spider-Man
going off the popularity
PS5
of
Miles Morales.
I don't know.
It is exciting.
It is exciting.
They announced another sequel to Gran Turismo, which I guess if you're into racing games is pretty big because PlayStation really doesn't have anything for racing games aside from Need for Speed.
That game looks so realistic. Honestly, when I was watching it, it looked like I was watching a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It's essentially the PlayStation's complement to Forza.
Yeah,
which is they've always released like that. If you're not into racing games, I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm not a huge racing game fan, but if the graphics are really that good when the game comes out like they were in the trailer, then we're in for a good looking game. But other than that, it's just another racing game.
I think it looks great. I think that's one of the games I think I'm gonna get.
I don't think I would get it. I don't think I would waste $60 on that game.
Especially the fact that it looks and sounds great too. I was watching and listening to the trailer. Yeah, it would be amazing.
I think a lot of these games will be amazing with headphones if you have a good headset.
You actually like racing games though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I like racing in real life too. I've done some go-kart stuff. Like I've just gone to like no, I'm serious. Like I've gone to a go-kart arena and done some other go-kart stuff, and it's just racing is just fun in general. I'm not saying I like NASCAR. I don't like NASCAR.
I thought you were about to say that you're like a big street racing guy. Like
no, I wouldn't even know what to say. I just racing is just fun in general.
Would be very mad.
No, yeah, I think I've never. I don't have any racing games for my PlayStation. Any that are good at least. There's this one that was like this mud derby one that's just
Dirt Rally, I think it's called.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I think
it's just really
PlayStation free game or something.
But speaking of,
and I
anyway,
I think it's gonna be fun to
play. Speaking of derby games,
what is this game, dude?
Destruction All Stars is a thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at this game right now, and I honestly thought at the start of this trailer, you remember that game Hands on the Switch?
Arms?
Whatever it's called. Arms? That's exactly what I thought this game would be. And then I kept watching. These guys look like wrestlers.
It's cars, though.
And I know, but like,
it looks like
beginning with it looks like kind
of like Mad Max. Yeah, but that's kind of what it is.
You don't think these guys would get in a car and crash against each other? It looks like these guys are getting ready to just throw hands at each other. But then you see the trailer, it goes on. I'm watching it right now. These guys get in the ring. It's like, oh, these guys are gonna fight, and then they jump in their cars and they bash each other around. It's like, whoa.
One of my friends watching it thinks it's gonna be a battle royale. I don't know if it was you, Aidan, who said it might be, or it's like some sort of battle royale game.
It looks like the combination of like anime, like Rocket League, Arms, and
Fortnite kind of thing.
It's
definitely gonna be the next Fortnite.
And maybe throw in a little bit of Mario Kart, but a little more.
It looks like there's some Apex Legends in there too, especially with like the style.
It's a mix of a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm watching this trailer, and there's this guy with like running shorts, a cape, and a cardboard box for a helmet. That has and then you got this woman who has this like anime kitty motorcycle helmet on her with like a short jacket on and yoga pants. And then, like, you have this, like, looks like some sort of WWE wrestler, like, whatever, just, like, wearing this, like, wrestling mask. It's just, you got characters from all over the place.
That looks like a really fun game.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably going to be fun, but I feel like it's also going to hit that same drag that, like, Apex Legends did, where it's hyped up to be, like, a Fortnite killer, and then it just doesn't kill Fortnite.
What's that sport? This is sport though, where drivers
it's like a demolition derby.
Demolition derby. That's exactly what this is. This is demolition derby.
Yeah.
Thrown in with a little more spunk to it, and
it's like I just like the originality behind these games too, because it seems like a lot of games that have come out recently are trying to fit the demographic of other games. I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be PlayStation exclusive. Something might be like shown in the Xbox trailer too. I don't think so. I wouldn't think
we do have some exclusive games though, all of which are super hype. At least 2 games that we know. Well, actually 3, I think.
We already talked about one of them because Spider-Man's PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, we did mention Spider-Man is obviously an exclusive game, but they announced a new Ratchet and Clank game.
Oh, I'm so pumped for that.
Oh yeah,
I am honestly so pumped for that. They got I only played like 2 Ratchet games, one on the PS4 and then one on the PS3, which is like Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. And then they throw in like the pirates in their planet, which was like those pirates are just messed up and funny at the same time. And then you get this like Jurassic planet with all like the big beasts and stuff. Like, damn, they like this might be the last game of the series because they just like threw every single game or like version of like areas of every single game into this one game, and then like they're playing out a story.
I think it looks cool. It looks really cool too because you got other dimensions with this game. It seems.
I'm a lifelong fan of the series, and I think it's going in a new direction. I think they're going on a completely different path.
You still have James Arnold Taylor.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, look at the logo. Have you seen the old Ratchet and Clank logo? I'm looking. Yeah, I have. Just tell, like, you know what I mean? They added that the female Lombax, which is what Ratchet is. But
yeah, that was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is cool.
Different dimension Lombax. Like he was originally supposed to be the last one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm glad that they're doing this because I like how they're adding like it's just adding a bigger universe to all of this. You know.
Yeah,
it seems like a lot of the games are really repetitive.
Like I'm
when
watching,
it comes to,
I'm watching the trailer right
I don't
now.
know. I haven't
played
a lot of Ratchet and Clank games, and
graphically,
back on the PS2, that's when the game was unbelievable.
Like when you first watch this trailer, like graphically, the first impression you get, because I'm watching it right now. I'm going to be watching like all these trailers.
Oh, it's stunning
throughout this session. Like, oh my god! Like the first couple of seconds. It looks like it's a movie.
It is,
right?
Yeah. It pretty much is. Like, look at that.
I'm looking at it. It's like, whoa, what is this? Like, did Insomniac come out with like some sort of new area, and then you see Ratchet like come flying out of a portal, and then it's like, oh my god, it's Ratchet and Clank. It's Ratchet.
Yep.
And then you look at them.
To be fair, they did actually the PS4 game was a reboot because they launched an animated movie.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean,
the animated movie was actually fun to watch, by the way.
The
detail of just Ratchet's just look, like his fur,
Ratchet's
his eyebrows,
face more real,
his face, like even his uniform, and then you get Clank.
If you look at
like
Ratchet
the first
from
scene.
2002, compare him to now.
Compared to now,
it's insane how far they've come. It's just cool to see. It's cool to see these franchises come to the next PlayStation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the really first scene of this trailer is literally one of the planets in Tools of Destruction. What I was just talking about is like the dinosaur-like planet, right? That was one of the missions.
Is it bad that I know what planet that is too?
No, it's not. What? Actually, I'm kind of curious. What planet is it?
Sargasso.
Sargasso?
He knows the name.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm the biggest fan of the series.
And then like
I've never met a person a bigger fan
and then like further in the trailer, you get these robots which we've never seen before come out of this other portal, and they start attacking him, right?
Yep.
And then like going from that, like he rides on this bug-like creature from this planet, and you see like kind of looks like actual gameplay of him just running away from all these portals and stuff that are opening up.
My biggest question is considering they sort of got separated in the trailer.
And then
are they going to be separated for the whole game? That's kind of what I'm wondering.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
considering we got gameplay of them being together, but
it looks like it. It looks like a cinematic gameplay, and then they hit something and go through a portal.
That they were, so it's not a bad question.
Like they go through this portal, and then you see all the looks like glass mirrors, like then you see all these different dimensions and stuff like that. And then he keeps going through this portal, and he ends up on this pirate planet.
Tools
of Destruction, and he goes on the pipes, and he's like surfing on the pipes or like something like, and it's like, man, this is like every single Ratchet and Clank game, and then like thrown together, and then you get this next portal he goes through, and it's like the city, like the first city from I think it's the city from the first scene in Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. And then he goes through another portal. You see more dimensions, and then he goes into like this desert planet and starts riding on these like dragon-like creatures. It's like super cool and then like you get this new planet with like a Star Wars Coruscant feel, where you got all these like flying cars and stuff going through the alleyways.
I'm sure everybody's seen the trailer. We should probably move on to another game.
I know, but it's like
it is very exciting.
Yeah.
The other guaranteed exclusive game though is I know Evan's. He's seemed the most excited.
I'm pretty excited about Ratchet and Clank too, because of female Lombax.
Well, not out
of nowhere.
Another game that they launched a couple of games later, because like I was like maybe a solid 10-15 seconds ahead of them in the stream. So one of the games popped up, and as soon as I said, "Wait a minute, is this what I think it was?" and then Evan started seeing the trailer, and it wound up being what they're calling Sackboy: A Big Adventure, and it's a new Little Big Planet game.
Yes.
I remember playing Little Big Planet on PS3.
It looks like it's going to have. PS3. It looks like it might have up to 6-player multiplayer.
Yeah, we still have it, I think.
I'm excited for the multiplayer part in general, because like I remember the version I played with the PlayStation 3. I don't know if it was multiplayer, like you could play with other people or not. I knew you could like play with multiple like on the same console, but I didn't know if you could play it with like online. I'm very excited for it, because I think all of us could get the game and play it together.
I hope it's 4-player.
Yeah, because I think originally,
fun.
Little Big Planet was just, it wasn't multiplayer. It was just like offline. Like,
6 might be too much, though. You know what I mean?
4 players. But I think what's funny about this trailer is the first scene of the trailer. He's like dressed as a tiger. He just comes out.
Yeah, when it was slowly revealing like what the character was, Aidan was like, "Wait, what is this?"
I mean, you could tell
Planet, and I'm like, I wasn't up, because Aidan was a few.
You could tell when you could see the zipper on the guy's chest.
Yeah, Aidan was a few seconds ahead of us because we were sort of having a watch party, and I wasn't too sure. I'm like, huh, and then I saw the zipper, and then I saw it was made of like a knitted character. I'm like, oh my god, I can't remember when was the last time a Little Big Planet game came out. Was it? Was there one for the PS4?
There was one for PS4.
It had to have been when it first
came out a long time ago.
That's
it was at least.
This game looks like Mario Party and Little Big Planet thrown together.
Oh.
Like, it looks like there's a bunch of mini games thrown into this.
Rip the Vita.
The Vita. It was a good console, just bad timing.
I wanted to get one of those at one point.
It sucks. The PSP was ahead of its time, but it didn't have like very many good games. And the Vita pretty much did the same thing, but with a new generation.
Yeah.
Now
I had a Vita at one point. It was great.
It's like this trailer, it looks like there's such a Mario Party feel to this game because it's not like your traditional Little Big Planet.
It feels like Yoshi's Woolly World from the Switch.
Yeah, kind of. It gets that feel. It really gets that Nintendo-like feel, but for PlayStation.
Hunter, did you watch the whole presentation by chance before this?
Yeah, I did. I literally have all the game reveals.
There is one game that I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure if you had seen it, but it was something that I think we all thought looked interesting, but is also probably going to be one of those weird games that we don't play much. Because we were pretty hyped when the trailer was on for Bug Snacks, but it looks like something.
Oh, don't get me started about Bug Snacks. That looks like such a children game.
It looks super fun. But none of us are probably gonna get it.
I feel like that game's for children. Honestly,
what game is that? I forget.
I'm blanking too. I don't remember.
It was the one. It was the one where like all the animals were made out of food.
Yeah, Bug Snacks.
Oh my god!
Oh, I barely paid attention to that trailer.
That's what it's called, Bug Snacks. And like, hold on, let me find it. It's like,
I wonder if that's.
It looks like it's gonna be one of those games where it's E for everyone. Like,
it's probably going to be a family-based.
It's going to be a family-friendly game for children.
Maybe it's like an Animal Crossing kind of thing.
Hold on, let me find it.
Actually, you know what? I was kind of getting Animal Crossing.
I found it. I found it.
Maybe PlayStation's trying to do something like that.
I mean, like when the trailer starts. Hold on, let me back up to the beginning of the trailer. When the trailer starts, you get this like weird like Mario like thing. Right?
Yeah, it
looks like Mario World. And then you see this wake up and it's like alive or something like that. It has eyes and everything.
It looks like a weird game, but I'm kind of excited for it, not gonna lie. I'm kind of excited.
And they're like dancing around, having fun.
Of course.
And then this dog guy comes out with like an Indiana Jones hat and it's like, hey, look at this strawberry, like I'm gonna eat it.
Oh geez, I didn't even remember that. But you're right, that did happen.
Yeah, this dude is this character is looks like a seal actually. It's not like a dog, but he's wearing like an Indiana Jones style helmet with a scarf like wrapped around his neck and like some sort of utility belt. Looks like a park ranger. Jeez, I don't even know what this creature is.
Guys should, if anybody has not seen this reveal, you should definitely go check out the reveal.
Yeah, you should probably.
Don't take Hunter's summary.
No. So, Evan, do you remember that Toy Story game that we played or whatever on your Xbox?
Oh yeah, Toy Story 3, whatever.
It's not an inaccurate description. That's pretty much what
it gives me that feel. Honestly, it has all these obstacles.
It gives me an Animal Crossing feel.
It's like an arcade sort of style game, in my opinion. Like you got this like. Looks like some sort of worm, like Subway sub, just like walking across the land or something. I don't even know. It's like food that are bugs, and then you eat them or something. I really don't understand the concept of this game yet.
You're way more excited about this game than I thought you would be.
Hunter's definitely buying
I'm not. I'm not. I'm just like a little confused about like what this game is going to be about. But I feel like it's going to have that Toy Story feel to it.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a fun family game. One thing, actually, this is one of the more interesting things that I think we definitely need to cover. It's definitely going to be a PlayStation exclusive thing. Because they teased it on the PS4 and it literally did nothing unless
so Bugsnax is supposed to be looks like I think so. I have a theory. So PS5, PS4. I think this game is going to be backwards compatible. Well, obviously, but like
Hunter,
there
might be like a different game.
Hunter, different game.
No. But like no. So
can we get off of this?
But game? No. I'm not on this game anymore. I'm not on this game anymore.
You're talking about Bugsnax still.
Okay, but that's just an example. Some of this, there's other games that have PS5, PS4, so they're going to be backwards compatible. But I'm thinking
a lot of these
like another way for backwards compatible is you can play multiplayer on a PS5 with a player with a PS4.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that when we got into the features. Now you spoiled it.
Let's get into the console.
Well, I mean,
into the console.
I was going to say. So one of the things, like I said, PlayStation exclusive game right here. It was on the PS4, but literally did not work unless you had a PlayStation camera. Which hopefully comes with the PS5 this time, is the Playroom.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Evan, I remember you said something about the Playroom. Like, did you by chance actually get to play the game on PS4? Because I never could.
No, I didn't. I think I had to own some accessories, and I didn't.
Is that an actual thing? I thought it was just Playroom.
Yeah, but I think what they're doing with the PS5 is including those.
Yeah, if it might actually include the camera this time around. So
and
that game
actually interests me, so I might buy it.
Oh, I have it right here.
One of the
games.
Yeah, I think it's just like an AR, like an alternate reality, whatever mini game type thing. Kind of like on the
sort of thing.
Did you guys have 3DSs?
I did not own one. I didn't really see a point in owning one.
Okay, so one of the features was that there were little mini.
Astro's Playroom.
It's interesting because I honestly thought it got completely abandoned when they went to PS4, even though it probably would have been perfect for that. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool to see. There are plenty of other games that look really good. Seeing as there are 26 games revealed, we can really only, I mean, I don't remember which ones were which. All I know is that they're really good looking. They dropped a trailer for a new Resident Evil game.
I didn't know what that was. We were all wondering what that game was. It looked dark and scary. And then,
if you honestly think of like the Until Dawn game, right? You guys. That's what you're getting.
That's what you're thinking of.
Because if you remember, like Until Dawn was like you got these all like I forget. There's like they were teenagers in the
or something.
Creatures like that. Everybody, they were like zombies.
It was like a
a zombie game, not right? Cannibals. Like I forget what those are called.
So I'm trying to look for the trailer. No, where is it?
I mean, it was definitely like I swear it was one of those games where you just have no clue until the actual title came up.
Yeah, it's a mix of some things. Like you see, like the first part of the trailer is like this woman. No, I'm just like there's like relation. I'm trying to compare. It's like the woman's telling the story, like, and then you get the guy walking into the wooden cabin in the woods, right? Some old dude comes in with a shotgun, and then all these creatures. Get that on Until Dawn.
You just sit there and you're like, "What the heck is this?
Like, who are these? What is this game? This looks just like a horror movie."
And then right at the end, it was like, and then it said Village, right? So I was like, "Okay, that's
and then it gets Village, and then you get a bunch of stuff, and then you get a bunch of other stuff afterwards.
Yeah, there was extra clips after the title, which I think only a couple games did.
Yeah, it got like a medieval feel to it too. Like got muskets and like.
It looked like it's expanding on Resident Evil 7 though, where you're like stuck with that crazy redneck family or something. So it looks like it's kind of expanding on that.
Is Resident Evil more of a older sort of theme?
Yeah, they've been around.
Are dressed rather like 1800s.
Well, it's not necessarily an older theme, but the series as a whole has been around since like the 90s.
Okay.
Like they just
this game just freaked me out, honestly. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not a big horror game guy, so I'll probably pass on it. But I know for some people that's actually a huge reveal. And I guess the biggest game reveal was probably the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn.
That game looked amazing, dude.
I think it's Forbidden West was the subtitle of Horizon.
It was actually the last trailer.
Yeah, that was the last thing they revealed before the console itself. It looks beautiful.
Where is it?
I didn't play the first game, so I'd have to like catch up on the story, I guess, somehow. But I think that's probably going to be a launch title, and if it's not, it's going to come out next year, obviously.
Yeah, I think the date said 2022. Hold on.
I know one or two games did say they weren't releasing until 2022, so they're practically just revealed.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Actually, they didn't give a reveal. It just said the name, and then hold on.
But I
just said the name. But honestly, not gonna lie, the first part of the trailer, I thought it looks like Tomb Raider because like you got you got the plane by the waterfall, right? That was in Tomb Raider. That was in the first one, and then you got the boat on the shore. I'm like, is this Tomb Raider? And it was something completely different. So
one of the things that we should probably, we've practically got through all, I think, the major games. And obviously there's plenty more. They all looked really good. But just to get through those, because not all of them were really huge discussion breakdown worthy, like the ones that we talked about. We have games that are Project Athia, looks pretty good. Stray.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't have an actual name for it. It was just Project Athia. And
yeah. I think that is the actual title though. Like it didn't look like it would be, but Returnal is giving off some like Interstellar mixed with Edge of Tomorrow vibes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that game was interesting.
That was a really cool game. Like the whole scenery changes every time she, starts over, and then it's just trip. Like it's a trippy game. I think I'm gonna get that game, to be honest. It looks really. It looks like some pure like raging LSD stuff. Like
it looks like if you took a Christopher Nolan movie and said, okay, now it's a video game.
Yeah.
Some of the other games that were announced that we had discussed is Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
That game looks amazing, dude.
Really good, I think. I might not get it.
I'm excited for that one.
Really good. Soulstorm, which was the one with the weird frog-looking guy, I think.
I don't remember that one.
There's just so
many. Hold on, let me look.
It was the one with the green guy, and we didn't know what it really was.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let me just make sure.
I think that's what that was. So while you look that up, I'm gonna mention one of the other games.
Oh yeah, I found it. Hold on, let's see.
Is it with the green guy?
Some sort of green alien, but hold on. Let me see if it's actually Oddworld Soulstorm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is.
Yeah, it looks interesting, but I don't think I'd get it.
It looks like it'll be a fun platformer game, but at the rate things are going,
it's gonna be backwards compatible.
My PlayStation 5 game library is going to be a couple of my leftover PS4 games and then like new launch titles. So, Ghostwire Tokyo.
That game looks anime. That's like the only thing I really have to say for that is anime.
Yeah. Jet the Far Shore looked like a cool like adventure style game.
Yeah, but it was just basically just a rocket taking off from Earth. Really, don't really know the concept of that yet.
Yeah, we don't get much out of that.
Keep in mind that these are like reveal trailers to show off their
engine and stuff.
Some of these are
others.
Well, I mean, essentially,
they're not really meant to show off like their story.
I know,
and
but some
we
games did.
We gotta remember that this is essentially filling in for PS3 or PS3. This is essentially
E3?
in for the E3 presentation. So
yeah, I mean, we'll go back to that
so.
one that you thought that looked like a show. It's like we just saw like what the game looked like. We don't know how you play it.
For all we know, it actually could be an actually in-depth game. We just got a weird cinematic trailer.
Or I mean, it could be like a Telltale. You never know. Like it's R.I.P. Telltale, by the way.
Yeah, they went out of business. Godfall. I completely forgot.
That game looks so cool. I remember in my opinion.
It looked pretty cool.
What's that game?
And it's got a really cool title just based on that.
Is the game For Honor with the Knights? Is that the game?
Oh no, that's not the same game.
That's which one Godfall was. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
That game
I know what
For Honor feel, and it looks like
we thought it was a For Honor game when it
was like For Honor but cooler, essentially.
Yeah, and you got it said like in the trailer, like godly armor or something like that, and different. Yeah, it looks cool. So I had that on my list.
One of the ones that I think, Hunter, you mentioned Solar Ash looks good. I mean, obviously they all look
Solar Ash
physically good, but
I know Evan has the game. It's called Journey. It's like this Japanese style game when there's no dialogue or anything. It's just a journey across the desert to get to a certain point. And then this game kind of reminded me of it. But I don't think I wouldn't say I would be excited for it. Didn't look interesting to me.
Well, one of the games that I was excited for, unnecessarily, I've only played like 2 chapters out of 1 in the entire franchise. Hitman 3, that was a good reveal.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was sick.
Obviously, they did drop a thing for NBA 2K21, but let's be real, it's practically the same as every other NBA 2K reveal, where they just show the cover player doing some basketball stuff.
Is it me, or does this new Hitman game look very, very like? I mean, does it seem like it's gonna play very different than the other ones? The other Hitman games, I mean, they were, I think, free for an exclusive or something for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, at least one of them
was. And they were basically, it was kind of weird how the game worked, like it wasn't like a long story. It was just like individual missions.
I think,
and I'm just kind of wondering if maybe this game looks different. Like
usually
that's feels
how
like it's
it
gonna be a
is.
Story-based game instead.
I think it's like you have case by case missions and whatnot, and then it somehow interweaves together.
Yeah.
This time around, I think it's just going to be one cohesive thing. So that's interesting. Some of the other games, just so we can move on to obviously the big discussion piece being the console itself. They released Little Devil Inside. Looks pretty good. Demon's Souls, which is apparently made, I think, by the people who made Dark Souls. And it actually might be
familiar. It seems familiar. So, yeah.
That's interesting. I think Deathloop is another interesting one because it's made by it's a Bethesda published game, so obviously Bethesda bad, but it's made by the developers who made the Dishonored games, and I played through the whole first game and part of the second one, and they're both really good games. I could tell almost immediately.
One game that looks amazing, by the way. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just I was very intrigued by this one. It's called Pragmata.
Yeah, that's the last game I
played. Such a Halo feel to it.
Amazing. It had like a what is that one about the guy and the baby? And it's like
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. Yeah, it has that kind of vibe to it, except they're all sort of cyborgs, it seems, because the little girl was sort of like an android kind of thing.
The astronaut gave me a kind of like,
and then they ended up on the moon at the end, and I'm wondering to myself, it's like, wow.
Like I'm gonna make a comparison. I want to make a comparison real quick because, like,
I think
when you see the astronaut like walking down the street of New York, because that's where they are.
Looked like it.
Doesn't he? He doesn't look like him, but it gives me such like a Master Chief kind of feel.
Yeah, something
you know what I mean?
That. It seems like it's very deserted there too. Like it just.
Teigan was thinking in the moment. Teigan was thinking that it looked kind of like
world.
What was it? Titanfall, you said. Kind of.
Yeah, I'm like, is this Titanfall? Like, it looked like a new Titanfall game, and I'm like, that would have been really cool. Titanfall 3, which I mean, Apex Legends was taking Titanfall 3.
Yeah, and then this little girl shows up, right?
Yeah,
and he throws her on his back, and they leave the planet, and
apparently
they're on
robot.
the moon. Yeah, she's
apparently.
Yeah.
No.
She reminds me of Cortana, but she's not an AI. She's not an
Android.
AI.
Gotta get that
she's Android.
Whatever.
She kind of reminds me of Cortana, but just like a young girl. And like, for some reason, there's a cat.
It looks cool. I'd like to see some gameplay of that.
The internet is gonna have a field day with that comment.
Have we gone through all the games?
I think
so.
I want to add one note.
Yes.
About that. I just can't wait to see how all these games from like PlayStation 4 and all the older games take advantage of the hardware, which is what's coming up, obviously.
I mean, all my games are digital, so like my biggest fear of upgrading is if all my games will.
Oh no, they will.
Like, yeah.
No, yeah, they'll probably. I thought you were about to spoil another thing that we were going to talk about with the
I wonder if
just
PS5 will have like a cloud
expressing
system.
a fear.
They will.
Considering it's my account,
Yeah, they'll probably carry over the cloud because, I guess now that we're pretty much at the part of the console, one of the features is going to be, as of now, like apparently they haven't spoken too much about old PlayStation games, but as of now, we do know that you'll be able to play pretty much your entire library of PlayStation 4 games automatically, which is good because I have a good couple of disc games that I would like to not lose. But yeah, so now we're pretty much in the phase where we're going to talk about the console. They finally revealed it after.
Can I share the meme real quick?
Router.
After
Loki. Real quick?
Hey, you know what? That's one damn good looking Wi-Fi router. All right.
I know it's clean.
I think
you got.
I don't
Wi-Fi router, mini fridge, and toaster.
Yeah, I don't hate the Xbox One either. It does look low key like just like the most.
Like a mini fridge.
It looks like the most.
Of those designs. I really don't.
It looks like the most bare bones PC possible. But you know what? If it works, it works. The design itself, it appears as of now we might be launching with white being the primary color, which has.
I hope they come out black with black.
They will. I just don't see it at launch.
I mean, even if they do, they'll probably not like they'll probably just like tweet pictures of it from Sony or PlayStation.
The controller looks really slick though.
Yeah, there have been already like people altering the colors of it in their own designs, and
I actually do have stuff brought up on my computer, so that way we have easy access to talk about the specs and whatnot. So, aside from the design, I mean, obviously, like you guys seem to think it's pretty good. So,
I'm fine with it.
One of the things that we're looking at is that there are 2 versions coming out at launch, which they have never done before. Well, I mean, 2 versions as in they're literally yeah. So
yeah, there's a digital only version, and then there's a disc version.
They're launching. Yes, they're launching a digital only version, which sucks if you have disc games though.
That's the one I'm gonna get because all my games are digital.
So hold on, can I just specify? So like, you can buy a PlayStation, but there's no like.
Yeah, there's no disc drive.
There's literally no
disc drive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have one.
It's a good option though.
Yeah,
it's a good option.
It honestly,
I might get that version.
Looking at the digital one looks more sleek, like it's more streamlined. But obviously, if you have PS4 games that are on discs, you don't know. You don't know. You know what I mean? Like you don't know if you're gonna be able to transfer those games. And I just bought
I sincerely doubt it.
I just bought Witcher 3 at the beginning of the year, and I'm not trying to lose that game. Fucking.
I bet that game will look incredible on PlayStation 5.
The only disc game I have on PS4 is Battlefront 2, and that's it.
And you could, dude. That's what I did. Buy Battlefront 2 because you have PlayStation Plus. Get it for free and just have it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's free game of the month.
Yeah,
right?
So just take advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could delete the game and then download it for free.
Yeah,
on
later.
My PlayStation.
On your PlayStation 5.
So you might lose you might lose your data. You're gonna lose all your data.
You might not. You might not. It doesn't
no, because all the memory should be in my account.
Well, some of it's on the disc. That's the problem. I don't know if it's
no.
Nothing's stored on the disc.
All your save data stays on the console.
Yeah, no, none of it is stored on the disc. It won't be like
all in the cloud on your PlayStation.
Yeah, it won't be just wrote on the disc.
Yeah.
The disc is just like the game.
So anyway, the specs are something that's going to be highly talked about At this point, it seems right now the Xbox Series X is going to be stronger. It's going to have a better processor, which sucks for PlayStation users, but luckily it doesn't seem to be making a huge, ginormous difference, because from what we can see with the Xbox, it can only run 60 frames at 4K. Both are going to be capable of pushing up to 8K resolution, which is wild.
And 120 frames a second.
Yeah,
if
so
you have the TV capable of doing that.
You're probably only going to be able to run 120 frames at like 1080p though.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but they're going to be native 4K, which is good because 4K TVs are becoming more and more popular. But they do allow for 1080 and whatnot for people who don't have it. So that means poor individuals like me who can afford a PS5 but not a 4K or
that's the question I ask. It's like, what do people really want? Do they want a smoother looking game, or do they want a better looking game? Because that's like,
I want to.
You know what I mean? Like, do you want a better looking game, or do you want a smoother feeling game? That's
to be completely honest, I'd rather play 4K with 60 frames than 8K with 30 frames.
I mean, I would love to see how some of these games look at.
Oh yeah, no, it's
so. 8K
is not really a thing.
No,
it hasn't been.
Yeah,
I know it is, but it hasn't really been a thing.
It's not. It's not.
We barely export 4K.
Yeah,
it's not common. But there's an 8K TV out there that's like $2,000 or something.
They're 8K TVs, but yeah, because they're not like as widely.
I'll take frame rate over resolution any day.
Yeah, if you can hit 60 frames in 4K or even 120 frames at 1080p, go for it. So the CPU, it says that they're going to have an AMD Zen 2 based CPU with 8 cores at 3.5 gigahertz. So that sounds pretty. Honestly, it all sounds like computer stuff. I'm not too familiar with that. The GPU.
I don't think any of us are.
The GPU, it says 10.28 teraflops or whatever. 36 CUs at 2.23 gigahertz. For computer people, hopefully that's good. It sounds like really good. The GPU architecture, it says custom RDNA2, so it looks like something that's going to be specific to the PlayStation 5. The memory interface, the interface is a 16 gigabyte GDDR6, and then it says 256-bit. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with a lot of computer terms, but I'm sure that's pretty good, because I mean, if they're charging $450 to $600 for this, it better be
good.
The memory bandwidth says that it's at 448 gigabytes per second. The internal
gigabytes
storage
per second.
Now
is that the download speed?
No, that's just memory. That's just memory related stuff. So here's the one thing that the PlayStation is pretty much guaranteed to beat out the Xbox, is that it's already being said that the internal storage for the PS5 is going to be better. We're looking at a custom 825 gigabyte SSD. So I was wrong about the 865 that I mentioned earlier. 825 and apparently 2 terabyte hard drive or probably also an SSD is going to be in there somewhere. Solid state drives are just better than hard drives. So we're going to see faster loading times, crisper graphics, shit like that. And there's 2 swears per episode now, just from me.
Did anybody remember when they compared the loading speed of? Yes. Speaking of the loading speed,
Spider-Man, they compared it to the PS4.
So fast.
Yeah.
So fast. I'm so excited about that one.
Even the solid state hybrid drive that I have is supposed to progressively recognize games the more times you open them and do that. Yeah. And then it says IO throughput, which I don't know what that is. It says 5.5 gigabytes per second raw, typical 8 to 9 gigabytes per second compressed. Now, I'm not too sure what any of that is because, like I said, I'm not a big computer guy. Expandable storage, it says NVMe SSD slot, so it looks like we're going to have expandable storage space. External storage, it does have support for USB hard drives for PS4 games only. And then the optical drive. And then the optical drive is tailored at a native 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray drive. So we're pretty much getting the best Blu-ray player that's out right now in here.
I mean, but the thing is, people don't really watch things on disc anymore.
So, well, I mean,
some people do.
I mean, I don't.
I know
but
some people
I'm
still
pretty
do,
sure a lot of
people
do.
Sometimes you have to.
Digital now.
Well,
but yeah, you're right. A lot of times you do have to.
A lot of the odd thing about when you buy movies is that whenever you buy specifically like the 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays, is that like I have it for Endgame, and well, I mean, even when you buy Blu-rays in general, it always comes with a digital version that you can download. Which is great because that means that you can watch it on the go on, say, a laptop if your laptop doesn't have a disk drive like mine. Unfortunately, though, we are looking at an uphill battle compared to the Xbox, as it does look like it's going to have a stronger PlayStation. But I mean, I think we're looking at a pretty decent system.
At the end of the day, it's too close to really say Xbox is definitely superior.
It's not significantly better.
Enough. It's not significant enough.
If you guys really want like a significant difference, just go get a PC.
Exactly.
I mean,
I just don't see the argument.
The console war thing is moot at this point. It's
the console war is just fanboys who are specific to certain consoles.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
it's also just price. Like if one's cheaper than the other and you don't want to spend a ton of money,
it's
just
not
going
to happen that way. They're both going to be the same price.
Well, no. So here's the thing, right? When the PS3 originally launched, it was $600 because it had Blu-ray, which was like brand new at the time. The Xbox 360 dominated it in sales and became. That's why the console wars was so big, and everyone was like, "Oh, 360 is awesome. PS3 sucks." Because the 360, it wasn't actually significantly better quality-wise. It was just
cheaper.
More affordable.
Yeah.
And then when the PS4 came out, the PlayStation 4 launched at $400
cheaper. Yep.
It was $100 cheaper than the Xbox One. So people bought the PlayStation, and now it's at the point where Microsoft. A guy from Microsoft apparently literally said that they're willing to undercut Sony up to $100 just to try to outsell them.
Crazy.
So
it's smart.
It is smart.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you put a product up for less price.
Makes you wonder how much money they're going to lose.
And it's good quality. It's like the same as one thing.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper. People are going to tend to buy that more.
People are going to buy.
Also, one thing that you have to consider too is the amount of exclusives, because technically Xbox doesn't have any exclusives because they put Halo on PC. Halo was the only exclusive Xbox had until they put it on PC.
A big thing with
one thing I'm excited for though for Xbox.
Yeah,
and PC
a big thing with Microsoft is that they're clearly trying to take advantage. Like someone at their company finally said, "Hey, wait, guys, we're a computer software company. Why are we not trying to integrate our gaming console with PCs?" And it seems like that's
the way to make more money.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially with the shape of the console, it looks like a PC.
Yeah,
it seems like they're going. Makes me wonder if they have a keyboard and mouse for it too. Like if they made a keyboard and mouse for the.
I know that they used to have attachments for the controller like that.
I mean, PlayStation 4 has the option
you can plug it in, so I'd imagine you can.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like the whole thing about the console wars is stupid, and I hate that people who are PC exclusive try to hold it over console players, because it's like, dude, your whole rig costs you like what? Teigan and I were looking at a website that sells PCs that a lot of streamers get, and just for like their upgraded version, it was like $999 just for the PC, just for the computer part.
It was just the starter PC. It doesn't have any like keyboard, mouse, or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you want a decent monitor. My brother's got a 4K monitor. It was like $400. So there you go. Now you're spending
crazy money.
$1,400 right there. Not to mention like the $150 you're probably, if not more, that you're spending on a keyboard and mouse set. You're gonna wind up spending $1,600 on a baseline good PC.
That's and a high end. It was the website was NCXT, which is a huge supporter of these streamers, and you can customize your PC for. This is not sponsored by them, by the way.
No.
It would be cool if it was, but you can customize this PC to fit the game of your choice, and it's really cool. But it's $2,000 just for the PC. I put like a whole setup in there. I wanted to see like what the high end stuff, like the best stuff that you can put into it, the best components, like you get monitors, keyboards, mouse, all that kind of stuff, headphones.
Over $2,000.
Just with all that, 4,000.
I mean, granted, with that, you won't need, like, you could go through fucking. There goes another one. You could go through the PlayStation 6 probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just like why do that when you can just get a console that pretty much can do the same thing?
At that point, it's like
for way less. Yeah.
I mean, your PC should be better. You know, if you're paying that much, it should be better. But one thing that I do have to say, a lot of people are going. I think if the PlayStation really is $600, like the placeholder thing entails, people have to realize. So you're willing to spend twice that for a cell phone?
I'm at least hoping that the digital version is cheaper, considering it has the lack of
I'm thinking
disk drive in there.
I'm hoping that it does, but that one might also come with a bigger hard. Like that one might actually be like the 2 terabyte one that they're talking about.
Yeah, I remember you saying that earlier. It's like how the bigger hard drive, that being more. I mean, though it is sleeker. Like if you look at the design, my disk drive kind of pops out a bit.
My 2 terabyte hard drive is the same size as the 500 gig one that comes default.
So they could be the same price. The bigger hard drive could make it the same price.
Well, no, it's the amount of memory space rather than the size of the hard drive. Is that like?
Oh well, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
like a 2 terabyte hard drive just to get the thing that I got, it was like $80. So, I think it could add more. It might cost. I mean, I could see that one costing up to $50 more, maybe even $50 less, depending on what they what they want to do with it. But yeah, it looks like the Xbox. I think as much as I mean, I'm a PlayStation guy. I've never not had PlayStations, but I think we're gonna get.
Can we just talk about the memes real quick?
I think we're gonna get
the memes are just so funny. Some people put their PS2 instead of a white binder, and that's basically, it's like, yep, that's the PS5. And then some people are, it's like a router, like we said before. I mean, honestly, I'm so. It's a sleek design. It really is. I find it better looking at black, but honestly, like the memes are just they're so funny.
Yeah,
looks like a router.
The Xbox X Series mini fridge.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Those memes are. I didn't notice them until today, but it was so quick. People just came out with them.
You buying the Wi-Fi router? You buying the mini fridge? Or you buying the toaster?
I'm getting the router, man. I'm getting the router. For me, buying an Xbox would definitely not be a very smart choice.
By the way,
it's just. It doesn't make sense. Like, why would you? You know what I mean?
Right. Like, all my games are on PlayStation. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just not enough to switch over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Xbox was 16K at 240 frames a second or something nuts,
yeah, that would be ridiculous.
Like, maybe I would consider purchasing it. But like,
yeah.
What's it doing different than my PlayStation?
Yeah.
It's not doing anything different.
So something that we should cover real quick, that I completely forgot of, is the controller is a big step up. So let me just show you guys on the video. This is obviously, you guys know, the standard DualShock 4. Now, the improvements that they're making, one, I think it's made more ergonomically. Some people said they just ripped off the Xbox remote but had the joysticks in the right place. Yeah. Hey, you know what? If it works, it works. But it looks like they changed certain things. So it looks like the light box on the front is going to be like behind the touchpad, which is cool. The touchpad is apparently different.
It looks separated from the thing. Like, it looks more like its own separate piece than like a.
So they're calling this new controller, instead of a DualShock controller, which they've been DualShock since PlayStation 1. They're calling it the DualSense controller instead of DualShock 5.
It has motion sensors.
It had a lot of cool features. I was watching.
It has a lot of cool features.
Amazing features.
One of the features I think is going to be one of the biggest ones is haptic feedback. It says shoulder buttons, but let's be real, they're the triggers.
Yeah, which Xbox has had.
Yeah, they switched them to more like trigger buttons.
Yeah.
Instead of just being tiny bumpers like they were on PS3, but apparently they're going to be adaptive. So it says that the triggers are going to adjust and adapt to let players feel the tension of their actions. So what I'm thinking, like one of the examples this website I have in front of me brings up and that I mentioned is that like drawing a bow. So say your character uses a bow, like something in Horizon Forbidden West. I know Alloy uses a bow. So, maybe when you because obviously there's like a resistance when you pull a bowstring in real life. So maybe the triggers will somehow be harder to push down.
So maybe it'll vibrate.
Oh, that's what it is. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too hard though, because you don't want people like weak hands to struggle.
The vibration.
One thing I just noticed, not everyone. Every single game that was shown, especially the first party ones, are going to take advantage of this controller like and the console itself, and it's just so cool to me. You know what I mean? How the controllers moved on,
especially games like Horizon, Spider-Man,
and Ratchet and Clank, I think too.
Ratchet and Clank probably because
with all that warping and all that, that's definitely going to do something with that.
Yeah.
I believe part of it too is that the vibration rumble is going to be different. Instead of just being like a little zzz, zzz with the spinning.
It would be cool if it was custom for each game. Like each game had its own.
I think certain things like say like a giant is walking past you, instead of just having the spinner thing just do a little zzz around for the vibration. I think the whole thing is going to vibrate.
It's going to vibrate more
I think it's going to be
with what's happening in the game, not just like, oh, there's an explosion there, we're just going to vibrate, or your guns, or your gun in Call of Duty is shooting, we're going to vibrate this for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, they're definitely going to adapt that.
I'm not sure if you guys have you probably all had a Nintendo Switch controller in your hand, right?
That's
probably played with one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's how it's going to be more like, because I think the vibration in that is very, advanced and it's very good.
Is it
for games?
Is it tailored to like whatever side something is on? Kind of like how headphones you can hear something to your left more in your left earphone than you can.
Oh yeah. So certain parts of the controller will vibrate at different vibration speeds in these, and it's really cool, and it feels very close to your hands rather than like in the PS4 controller you can feel it too deep into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so intense.
Okay.
Well, I hope it is like more in tune with the sound of the game too as well.
I think it will be.
Like I feel like that would be really cool. It's definitely really amazing how they've sort of are upgrading the hardware to make the experience. Like imagine in VR, if you're in I can only imagine what the VR is going to look like for this, and
if they
that'd
be
gotta buy that too.
I think they're gonna.
I
think they're gonna.
On VR and PlayStation.
I was gonna say. I think they're gonna. I think instead of just allowing us to use like the PS4, PlayStation VR stuff, they might just make a whole new kit. But there are two more things about the controller I do want to mention. One of the more important ones I think is there's going to be a microphone built into the controller.
Oh, that's convenient. That's convenient.
Sort
you
of
don't
like
have to wear a headset.
the Wii and DS.
Yeah, like the old.
Those did.
You remember the old?
The DS did. I know that.
Yeah, I think they got rid of it with some of the newer ones. But I remember back in some DS games, like one of the features literally required you to blow into it. And it would and then and then the share button is gone.
The share button's gone?
Really?
Yes, they are.
I'm wondering how you're gonna. Because I know people can stream off the PlayStation. I'm kind of wondering. What?
Instead of calling it the share button, it's now the create button. It's literally the same thing, but it's the create
so
button
it's not
now.
gone. They just renamed it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And really, it's just the options button.
Share button is dead. Long live the create button. Obviously, we're gonna get more information as we get closer to the actual release. But
we just need a price and
at this point, they're probably not going to drop the price until
a couple months.
When do you think it's actually going to around Thanksgiving? Because I'm pretty sure that's usually when it.
The release date. I thought you meant the price.
It's probably going to be Christmas.
I
mean both.
You know what they're going to do is they always drop them around Black Friday. so people can get them on.
So, so like literally right after Thanksgiving. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep, November.
And then
Thanksgiving is going to be interesting this year.
And then I'm sure they'll have a major discount on during Christmas.
We might not have Black Friday. We're probably gonna have Cyber Monday, and that's it.
I mean, even if we are, with all the.
I'm pre-ordering. So
I might honestly, I might do that too.
Teigan, I would too. You were saying earlier you might wait, whatever, but I would just to secure it.
I think
if you're really wanting one.
Black Friday though is like, I mean, everyone talks about how hectic Black Friday is, but with the launch
Black Friday this year,
that's gonna be insane.
Imagine stores open, everyone's wearing a mask, and everyone's trying to stay 6 feet apart.
I think honestly, everybody's gonna be ordering online. I have a feeling online shopping is gonna be where it's at. Stores sites are gonna crash.
Right around then, we're gonna have a vaccine. Right around Black Friday time.
I mean, hopefully,
or at least starting to. Yeah.
People are still gonna mainly shop online. Like I have a feeling these websites are actually going to crash because so many people are going online instead of actually going to the stores.
I think a lot of people are going to do that.
Yeah,
I think honestly,
it's going to be interesting to see.
I think that's what I want to do, just because, to be completely honest, like Teigan, you and I are going to have to talk to Dylan about it. Not because of the virus, because of the hype around consoles and stuff. You know how parents are. They will literally fight someone so their little kid gets the best thing.
Yeah, you could die there. You could die.
This is why I hate people.
You don't die. You get trampled by 100 people.
People like us are going to be physically assaulted by mothers who think their 10-year-old child needs
a bunch of Karens just coming up to you. It's like, my son needs that. And then they just throws a punch. I'm like, dang it, lady.
Honestly, I can probably guarantee you that more than a few consoles are going to get broken if that's the case.
Oh, probably. That's why I'm ordering mine online. I'm not taking the risk of going to a store just because of COVID and because I don't want to get punched by a Karen.
I am pre-ordering as soon as it is available. I'm just letting you know.
The website's going to crash. I mean, because of COVID, the websites are going to crash.
Yeah,
that's my.
That's why I'm pre-ordering as soon as I can.
Yeah.
So as we've mentioned, Sony hasn't confirmed a price for the PlayStation 5, and as a result, obviously, Microsoft hasn't.
Has Xbox?
No.
Oh, they haven't either.
They're waiting. They're going to wait till PlayStation.
Yeah, they're trying. That's why I think Sony's going to do it really late, because they're sitting at a point where they're like, yeah, they're going to undercut us if we reveal ours first. But apparently, Sony Interactive Entertainment's president, Jim Ryan, who's the president and CEO, pretty much said that the price tag's close to being decided on. But he's pretty much said, yeah, we're probably not going to have the lower price.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, that's what I was telling Teigan about. Yeah.
He pretty much knows that even if Xbox doesn't do it, I think no matter what, they're saying is that they want to provide the best possible value that they can, but it doesn't necessarily mean the lowest price.
I'm just hoping that in the future technology starts, I know with new stuff prices are really skyrocketing, but I really hope it becomes more affordable.
It's a bit different with stuff like this though, because the original PlayStation 4 wasn't significantly less when the PS4 Pro launched. You know what I mean? It had only devalued.
Pro was $100 more.
Well, the PS4 Pro wound up launching at the same price the PlayStation 4 launched at. It was $400.
Yeah.
But the original PS4 was still selling for $300 to $350.
Yeah.
With stuff like this, it's a bit different from the iPhones, because iPhones are every year to every other year, whereas these you usually go 5 to 10 years in between. I mean,
PlayStation 3 came out in what, 2008?
Came out in 2008, so we got
2006.
So we got
way.
8 years.
2007, 2006, one of those.
PS3.
Yeah, and
the
PS4 been out now?
The PS4 has been out for 7 years.
Jesus,
it came out.
When did it? I wonder. I'm honestly wondering when they stopped making PS3, because they didn't stop making PS3 when PS4 came out. I know they were still making them.
They stopped pretty soon after, but you're not going to see. I mean, you didn't see any.
There's no reason to continue it.
Yeah, there's no reason.
Well, right,
makes sense.
But they were still making PS3 games too.
Yeah,
they'll continue some games, but that's
at least the first year of each new console generation. Games mainly AAA titles like Call of Duty will get released on both consoles.
Yeah, like Madden, right?
Yeah,
you had Madden 17, I think.
Madden 25.
Well, yeah,
I definitely think that,
but like
business-wise, it definitely would be smart if they stopped doing that.
I remember,
because they would get people to buy the new console.
Well, I know, but I remember we had PS3, and like they came out with Madden 17 for PS3, and it was like
certain game franchises keep doing it. Like I'm pretty sure Call of Duty did it up until Black Ops 3. Which, granted, Black Ops 3 was like 4 years ago now, but that's still like 3 years into the fucking... Oh, there it is again. 3 years into the console's life. But, yeah, so, I mean, it's looking like we're probably going to have the more expensive console here. But you know what? I think regardless of what these cost, like, if they said tomorrow, yeah, these are going to be 450 plus, 500...
Well,
as long as it's not...
I think both of them will be 500 plus.
My honest opinion is... Even though PlayStation is going to have less power and it's going to be more expensive, it's still probably going to be the better console in the long run. At least that's my opinion.
That all depends on what Microsoft does. That depends on personal preference. Yeah. In the end,
also a perk on PlayStation, they get games sooner too. Like especially they have a deal with Call of Duty where they get a game.
Yeah, we'll get
a month in advance. Probably.
I don't think it's a month anymore.
Few weeks,
probably just a couple weeks.
I remember in the 360.
I don't think anyone can make an argument that Xbox has better exclusives. You really can't.
Because they don't have any.
Yeah. I mean, even including Halo and Gears of War and whatever you want to say. You know what I mean?
Gears of War is on both, right?
RBI Baseball. Actually, no, they do have one. They do have one. Can you play RBI Baseball on PC? Oh no, wait, you can play it on Switch. Never mind, that's not Xbox.
No, MLB The Show, you mean?
MLB The Show.
No,
MLB The Show is
I was talking about Xbox exclusives. I was saying like RBI Baseball, you could not play on PlayStation.
That's on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, but why would you play that when you can play the show?
You used to only be on Xbox.
Anyway, yeah, they're gonna be expensive, regardless. I think it's gonna be worth it. You want to spend the money, you spend the money. To be completely honest, if you want both consoles, I think you should get them over time.
Screw that. I'm not getting.
I don't
know, maybe.
But if you ask me, just because of how Microsoft is integrating, just put the extra money into a PC and get like an Xbox controller and play Halo on your PC. Because that way you can play modded games on PC that you can't play on. Well, I mean, Xbox.
PlayStation doesn't allow modded games.
They did. They did for Skyrim and Fallout.
Well, yeah, 4. but not anymore. Not anymore. They don't allow it anymore for some reason.
They still have it on those games. They still have it on
I
those
looked up for all their other games. All their other games they don't allow it.
They only got it approved for 2 games anyway, but
yeah.
So that was something. Xbox only has those 2 games as well, but Xbox's mods are more in line with what you get with PC, and that would probably continue with these games. We're probably going to see Skyrim get ported to the PS5 too, because Bethesda needs some Elder Scrolls game to keep Elder Scrolls fans held over, because Elder Scrolls 6 is probably going to come out in like 5 years. Anyway, we're looking at it. Console wars is stupid. What game are you guys most excited to before we close out? What are you most excited to see come to the PlayStation 5?
You know mine, so just get me.
Ratchet and Clank, obviously.
Yeah.
Pretty sure mine's Spider-Man. Dude, I don't even care. Anyone who's saying that it's like, oh, it's Miles Morales, I'm not gonna care. Dude, still get the game. Like it does. Miles Morales is just as great of a Spider-Man as Peter Parker. Anybody who says otherwise is wrong.
Throwback to when we talked about our favorite games, and Hunter told Teigan that Spider-Man wasn't announced and all that.
Wasn't announced.
I know.
Well, guess what? It's announced.
It's announced like 3 weeks later.
I'm super excited for that game. I'm excited what they're going to do to expand the story. I mean, hopefully they'll lead into the next Spider-Man game. And I'm really excited to see Miles Morales again, because he was definitely a great Spider-Man in Spider-Verse, and it was kind of cool. And that suit, dude, it's literally the comic suit. It's literally the comic suit.
Yeah.
Like, if you
and we don't have our questions answered about Venom from the last game.
I hope that gets answered in the Peter Parker sequel.
He's not going to get Venom's
I don't think Venom's going to be.
This is not going to have anything really to do with Peter Parker. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah. I'm super excited. I'm gonna pre-order.
I think it's a spin-off series.
You know what this could do though. Just as like a little tidbit about this game. What I think it could do is that I think this game is probably not going to be as expansive as the original Spider-Man game. Maybe it will be. Who knows? But I think
maybe like DLCs and stuff.
It could get 1 or 2. I'm not totally sure.
What I think they could do with it, and I don't know what you guys would stand on this, but I think what it could do is help transition into the third, like the actual main.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was saying before. It's like I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how it will connect with the sequel to the Spider-Man PS4.
What I mean is like
one thing I hope they don't do though is they don't do like they add like 50 different suits into the game. I hope they don't need it. I hope they just keep the one suit.
I hope they had the Spider-Verse version of Miles' suit because that's honestly my favorite.
Put that in there.
Well, that's pretty much what that is.
No, the Spider-Verse suit is a little different. It's personally
but it looks the same.
It's personally my favorite Miles Morales suit. I really hope.
Well, all of his suits are a bit different. Technically, the chest emblem is unique to the game, I believe, but.
No, it's in the comics. It's the same thing. It's in the comics.
No, it is the exact same. Okay, so
exact same
what I
as
would
the comics.
Is that they could use it to kind of work like a. Was it Shattered Dimensions? Was that the one where you play both as Peter Parker and Spider-Man 2099? I don't remember what.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is
another one, but I think
was it Edge of Time or something like that? I feel like
something like that. That's what it was.
Edge of Time. Yeah.
I mean, they were in both games, I think, because Shattered Dimensions was kind of like Spider-Verse, but bigger. So anyway, I think they could have that kind of gameplay where certain missions, kind of like in say, well, pretty much any game. I mean, there are missions where we controlled Mary Jane and Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, I really hope Speedball is not one of the villains
if
in this
Hunter
game.
was talking about a Spider-Gwen thing, I'm kind of wondering if they'll introduce Gwen Stacy into
as
the
a character.
As a side character, kind of like MJ was in the original.
I think not gonna lie, I think the main universe Gwen Stacy might be dead already though. Like
I don't know because they never really mentioned it. It seems like Peter and MJ have been together for ever.
That's why.
Well, yeah, but they're making
apparently in the '90s cartoon they left her out for that reason.
Gwen Stacy not Peter Parker's age. She's younger.
Well. Hey, maybe they'll go with the Spider-Verse route and they'll make Gwen Stacy the age of Miles because I know they have a sort of romance.
I think that's what they're ending.
I don't know Miles Morales as a character too much. I don't know what his how many love interests he has, but I know Gwen Stacy is definitely one of them.
In the movies, it's her, and I think in the comics, he had like a weird little like flirty thing with the Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, who is going to be in the Avengers game. But anyway, Hunter, what do you think you're looking forward to the most, whether it be a feature of the console or a game?
Well, Evan and Teigan said games that I'm like. I have a list, and I put a couple up there.
Give us your number one.
Name one.
But my number one. This game looks super interesting. I've watched the trailer a couple of times. It's the Kenna one, the Bridge of Spirits.
That's reasonable. That's the one game that I think Abe would have talked about.
Honestly,
he was actually on tonight.
It gives me a different vibe of like 4 different genres thrown into one. Like, I got a Tomb Raider vibe out of it because the woman has a bow and arrow, and there's like a ton of ancient, like from the trailer you see like ancient structures, like an ancient temple, and then I got kind of like a Kung Fu Panda vibe because of the Chinese like culture in a way, you know what I mean? And then throw in like an anime kind of theme as well, and then it looks cool. Just like, and the game looks beautiful too. Not gonna lie, the graphics and everything like that. So I'm really hoping it's a good story. The villain looks like a cool bad guy. So yeah, I think I'm looking forward to that one.
All right,
obviously, So
I think honestly, my most excited thing is probably honestly, I'm pretty hooked on Deathloop because I like the Dishonored games, and it's made by the same people, so looks pretty fun. I think honestly the controller is awkwardly one of my.
It looks cool. It's a different take to the PlayStation controller. They finally changed it a little bit.
I like it. I definitely like it. It looks like it's better on the better form to the hands. Like it definitely seems to be easier to hold.
Yeah, that's the problem that I have, like with because I bought like a
problem with every controller, to be honest. Like even the Xbox controller has that issue. Just being
Like I bought a.
They run on batteries. I don't know why, but
I bought a dinky. Oh yeah, they're gonna have USB-C instead of micro USB.
Yes, very good.
I bought this dinky third-party controller, and it's a bit bigger than the standard DualShock, so it fits my hands a little better. So hopefully that's what this controller does, and that's pretty much what I'm excited for. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't have a game? It's just the controller?
No, I said a game. I said Deathloop.
Oh yeah. Duh. Oh my god.
It's got another kind of like Edge of Tomorrow like time. I think it actually reminds me of the new Chris
That's
Nolan
the one
movie.
with the space woman, right? Who's crashing.
No, it's not called Deathloop. That's called
Deathloop is so.
No, that's not Deathloop.
No, Deathloop is different. I'm talking about a different game. So pretty much it has a similar concept though, where like there's like mini time loops and stuff. I guess for some reason 2020, 2021 games are just time loops, but Deathloop, hey, it has a protagonist that is a black man. You don't see that a lot in video games all the time.
No, you don't.
So,
well, I mean,
you actually just named 2 games with a black man as a protagonist.
Yeah. You know, the last major title that I saw with a protagonist that wasn't white and or just not real in any way was Mafia 3. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's Hispanic, right?
And that came out.
No, he's black. The Mafia series. Black. Yeah, he's black.
Oh, okay.
Miles Morales is technically mixed, but you know, this is the. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm not just hyping the game up because it has a person of color as a main character, but it is pretty cool. Yeah. So you know, that's.
I do have one question before we wrap things up.
Yeah, go ahead.
The price of the PS5 is rumored to be, you know, between $500, $600, around that. You know,
seemingly.
Yeah. What if the PS5 with the no disc drive came at $500, and the PS5 with the disc drive came at $600? Which one would you guys buy?
I mean, I would buy the.
I would probably buy the no disc drive.
I would buy the digital only one, only because I mean, I'm trying to be a little more minimalist in my life. Like I don't want to build up of discs. I'm serious. I honestly
as
like
you spend a ton of money on random stuff that takes up space.
No, I'm sorry. But honestly, like I don't have any disc games, and I also don't want to buy more disc games because of the fact that they take up space. Yeah.
And you're also lazy to get up and put them in, like, change out the discs and stuff. But
well, it's just easier. You know, they're right there on the screen. You just click it. You don't have to put the disc in.
I would do the same thing.
I think
it's hassle to take out a disc, put it away, and put a new disc in.
And I really hope that, honestly, I know, no offense to the disc loving people, but I really hope that that Aidan just waved to me. Evan, thumbs up.
They're gonna phase out.
Shot me in the face, but I really hope they phase it out soon because
the fact that
we're going into a digital age and it's just gonna start cluttering up and it's.
Well, the only reason I'm buying the disc drive version is because I don't have another option.
Well, yeah, the backwards compatibility, but you know what I'm saying is like they should really think about going fully digital, in which they should allow people who bought the game
some way to do it. You know
some way, like transfer it. And
on your PS4, you could put them all in. And
it's just like upload the whole game or something.
Or kind of like when the PS4 launched. I mean, granted, when the PS4 launched, they did a thing where certain games, like say Assassin's Creed Black Flag was one of them. If you bought it for PS3 and then got the PS4 right away, you could actually take the game into GameStop and they would give you a download code to get it on the PS4 for free. Because you already paid $60 for the game. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if they would do that for older games, because obviously, like, the games that I would like to, like, I'd pay the extra money for the disc drive, because games like, I know that The Witcher had a huge resurgence of popularity because of the TV series on Netflix. But, like, games like Skyrim and Fallout 4, like, they're not new enough to justify having a digital only port. I mean, granted, they could do it, but because you can already get them digital on the PlayStation Store. But I'm not too worried about the streamlining. I mean, I have 2 PlayStation 4s sitting next to each other. So
You still haven't got rid of the second one?
No.
Oh man.
No, I haven't listed it anywhere.
What do you have? A PS4 Pro and a...
No, just 2 standard PS4s. One that I modded to have a 2 terabyte hard drive. But I'll explain that all like off podcast just so we can wrap up. Yeah. So Other than that, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just really excited. I'm super excited
they didn't add. Well, hold on. I'm actually one final thought. I'm surprised they didn't add. Speaking of Madden, no. Just like
they didn't reveal a Madden game.
They didn't reveal a Madden game for it.
Well, they're probably going to do their.
I know Madden's going to come out before all this happens, but like you would think that this would be like the perfect time to reveal a trailer for it.
They already did.
They're probably just not ready. I mean, if they're not ready to reveal it, then they're not.
It was a teaser with Patrick Mahomes in it. I wouldn't call that a trailer. But
well, I mean,
trailers.
I mean, Lamar Jackson's the cover. All we know is that Lamar Jackson is the cover athlete for that. But anyway, with all our final thoughts out of the way, well, this is the end of the podcast. Not the end of the podcast as a whole, just this episode. Try not to scare anybody there. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Feel free to share the podcast. We will be posting it, so that way you can share it. Let your friends and family know about it, so they can come check us out. You can find us on quite a few different apps, primarily being where we post the podcast, Anchor, but they are a subsidiary of Spotify, so you're more likely to see us there, as well as places like Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, as well, of course, as a few other different podcasting apps. We do have an official Facebook page and Twitter page, so if you have those social media pages of your own, feel free to go follow and or like those pages where we will have updates. We'll be sharing the podcast, and I think a good idea would actually be to share the topics there early, so that way people know what we're going to talk about. Another thing you can do is we do have a listener support option that is completely optional, but if you choose to participate in listener support, you can sign up towards a monthly donation subscription that would help sustain the podcast. Again, completely optional. One thing we do have that is free is joining our community Discord server. There you can hang out with us as well as fellow listeners that decide to join. You can also drop suggestions on topics and discuss how we can improve the podcast, obviously. The invite link we will always have in the description for every episode, as well as most likely posted up on the Twitter and Facebook page. Lastly, if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, we do have an email that you can now reach out to. It is thedonutclubpodcast@gmail.com. No uppercase letters. Feel free to send us an email. You can send us hate mail. Why not? Tell us you think we suck.
All criticism is welcome.
Yes, all interaction is great. As always, you're going to catch a new episode every Sunday. Hopefully, as long as there are no, obviously, delays or anything that happen, we'll have a new episode every Sunday. And with this being the very end, we'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Goodbye.